Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mike Kollin at MikeKollin.com. So the title of this video is going to be They Are Screaming for Love. So I woke up about an hour ago and I woke up to this realization. One of the things about me is if I can understand something or if I can understand someone, I can, what's the word I'm looking for? So if I'm hurting about something or something is bothering me like really bad on a deep level, what I've learned over the years, at least for me, is if I can truly understand something on a deep level, on a core level of where it's coming from, like why are they doing this? Like I don't understand, like what's this about? That's when I can release the hurt or the confusion or doubt or whatever it is. So for me, one of the biggest proponents of this is NLP. The NLP trainings that I took for 12 years, they were the ones that really began to help me to understand, like really therapy is about understanding. When you understand something, even about yourself. So let's take timeline therapy. So simply by doing timeline therapy over and over, I mean, I learned this really fast. It was within the first 4, 5, 6 times of doing it. I began to realize like you have this profound understanding of something that happened in your childhood that had caused anxiety or fear or upset or, some kind of traumatic issue or trigger throughout your whole life. When you have this profound understanding, it's like you have this aha moment on a deep, deep level, and that releases the emotional pain. Now, this includes people in my life who have hurt me, or there was something that happened. I'm like, I don't understand. Like, why aren't we talking, or why isn't this and that going on? So what I found over the years is when you know how sometimes someone will come up to you years later, like, well, you remember in high school when so and so was mean to you? I'm like, yeah, like that. Just to this day, it still hurts me. I don't understand. And they'll say, well, here's what was going on with them. Blah 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 blah. It's like, oh, I didn't know that. And so it releases the hurt or the pain, because I think a lot of pain is caused by confusion. So overall, I think if you haven't done a lot of therapy, I think you'll be surprised that therapy isn't like, what's wrong with this person? It's more like, okay, what is it that they need to understand in order to move on? So I had this profound experience yesterday, and that was actually early today, very early today. And I took a nap, and I woke up. In fact, this realization is what woke me up. Now, you may have heard this. I don't think you've heard it on this level. And my understanding on this level is way more profound than what I've heard before, thought before. It's on a physical, emotional level. So for me, when I can physically understand it, like feel it from their perspective and understand it, that's when I have that aha moment of understanding. So avoidants are screaming for love. I mean, there is this intensity of energy of it's like their energy, their emotions are screaming for love, and yet at the same time, the same exact time, their energy is screaming, stay away from me. And I mean intensely, like laser beam, intense, closed door, stay out, stay away. It's because they're afraid if they open up, they're going to get hurt. And I don't mean kind of hurt, sort of hurt, but on a really, everything I'm talking about right now, I should be screaming this. It's like they're screaming, love me, and they're also screaming on an intense level, stay away. The door is closed. Don't come by. Don't open the door. Because on just as much or even more intense level is they don't want to get hurt emotionally anymore. So it's two extreme levels of energy in complete conflict with each other, themselves. So this video is going to help you if you're an empath or light worker or just an open-hearted person, to help you understand why is it that people attack you so much? Why is it that people strike out and hurt you so much, or close off or ghost you? Here's one of the biggest challenges with human behavior, humans. We are all having profoundly, radically different experiences in the world. And we see, hear, feel, smell, and taste everything from a completely different perspective. So understanding someone from their perspective is a very, very important thing. At least to understand them from their perspective on a level of understanding. Maybe you won't be able to get there 100%, but instead of just judging them and closing the door and slamming the door in their face, or saying, oh, just judgment, this and that about them, you can kind of go, like, because one of my biggest curiosities in life is like, why did you do that? Like, I don't understand. And it's not judgment. It's like I'm literally trying to walk over to your side of the fence, and I'm trying to turn and face in the same direction that you're facing, and see it from your perspective and understand it and know it from your perspective. Like, what's going on over here? Now, because we live in a world where people are closed, especially now more than ever, people are just closed. They just judge and they move on. That's it. So what I've learned over the years, as I shared earlier on, is like when I have an understanding of someone and why they were mean or why they did something, it gives me a sense of clarity, and clarity relieves emotional pain for me. Now, since we live in a world that's becoming more and more judgmental and people are closed off from each other, nobody's communicating, nobody's sharing information like they used to, 25, 30, 40 years ago. People just aren't doing that. Everything's computers, social media, text messages. The actual depth, the levels of depth of sharing each other and what we're going through is just not happening like it used to. And because of that, people can become very defensive, and when you ask a question, it'll be an automatic, oh, you're judging me. A lot of people, if they allow themselves time to get to know me, they're like, oh, you just want to understand. Like, yeah, I'm confused. I don't understand. Like, and I will say that to people, but it kind of goes over their head. And sometimes we'll have to kind of get intense. I'm like, look, I don't understand. Like, why are you doing this? Like, what is going on? And they're like, oh, you literally, yeah, I just want to understand. One of the greatest gifts I bring to doing therapy with people is having this level of understanding from someone else's perspective. See, when I can see it from your perspective, I can figure out what's going on, what's harming you, what's hurting you, what's causing you to be stuck or whatever it is. If I can see it, hear it, and feel it from your perspective, I'm like, oh, I see what's going on. It's like a puzzle. And I can put the pieces together, or it's like a ball of yarn where you've got some knots tied up, and I got to figure out, well, how do I pull this out, and what do I got to do for this and that? And once you start unwinding it, things start to go better. So I'd say for most of you that are on this channel, I think you are an empath or very much a heart-centered person. You feel emotions, etc. And I have a feeling or a belief that you guys probably, what I'm saying right now is like, I think you're the same way or very similar. Like, you just want to understand from their perspective, like, well, what's going on? So one of the things I've learned over the years, I had a profound experience of it 20 plus years ago. I'll give you an example. So I was, there's this grocery store that I used to go to. In fact, I'm going to it now. I stopped going to it because of this one person. It was a guy in the deli, and he was just rude. And I mean, just would play games and I didn't know this guy. And I'm like, finally, one of the employees goes, you do realize that guy hates you? I'm like, why? He goes, no reason. I'm like, what are you talking about? I go, did I say something wrong? And he goes, no, not at all. I'm like, so why does he hate me? He goes, he just hates you. I'm like, but why? He goes, haven't you ever just hated someone for no reason at all? I'm like, no. He goes, really? I'm like, I go, why would you do that? I go, if someone's mean to me, if someone's disrespectful, if someone's like, yeah, maybe then I won't like them, but I'm not just going to not like someone for no reason. Like that, I go, that doesn't make any sense. Now, a lot of you on this channel, I believe, have had a lot of people attack you and be mean to you and cruel for no reason at all. Well, there is a reason. You've probably heard it a lot, but on the level that I'm at right now, I don't know if I can actually say it in a way that you're going to understand it on this level. It might be something you're going to have to really, really experience on your own. So I'm going to do my best to explain this. So you're going to hear things you've heard before. Hopefully I can add something to that. So I'm going to start here. So again, this is a realization I had probably 10 plus years ago, and I would say 8 years ago, 7 years ago. I really, because it's kind of like, to us, it is so preposterous. Like, well, why would someone do that? Like, it makes no sense from our perspective. The reason why people don't like you, and I know you've heard this before, the reason why people will attack you for no reason at all, could be the first time you walked into that restaurant or grocery store, is because you are so wide open emotionally. It hurts them. They are doing everything, now listen closely, they are doing everything in their power to keep that emotional door closed. They don't want to get hurt emotionally. This is not judgment. If you're hearing it from that perspective, get off this channel. That's not what I'm saying. They've been wounded, they've been hurt, and you're saying, but so have I. And empaths usually the ones who've been wounded way more than other people, and I mean 100 times more. But here's the difference. You made a decision somewhere along the line to stay open. And I'm going to share my what I believe is my reasoning. I'm going to do my best to share that. I don't like to be closed up, because you get this narrow vision. You can only see what's right in front of you. Now, it doesn't just make your vision that way. Well, it's called linear tubular, like right in front in the narrow scope. It also makes your auditory and your kinesthetic like that too. So your peripheral awareness around you, visual, auditory, kinesthetic, is not there. And you essentially are oblivious to manipulation, getting set up, people talking behind your back, getting hurt, physically, etc. So we learned a long time ago to stay open, to stay awake, to stay alive. You stay open, you're going to see it coming. You can sense it. You pick up on the clues, the patterns. You can feel it. You can hear it in their tone. You can see it in their smile. You can see it in their eyes and their body language. So it's a sense of self-protection, because awareness is protection. It's a really smart thing. What some people do, and there's a variance in the range, everything in between to the extremes. So some people are on the opposite extreme of, I'm closing off to people. I'm not going to relate to people. I'm going to go to work. I'm going to go straight home. That's it. I'm not dealing with anything. These are people who just completely, totally close up. Because in their world, if I can't see you, you can't see me. And that is not true at all. These people become very, very oblivious to the obvious signs, even when people tell them to their face, hey, blah, 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 and they just don't see it. And it's because they don't want to see it. So they live in this fantasy island in their world, and it may not be a happy fantasy island. It might be a very miserable, distrusting, dark world where, no, you can't trust anyone. Because from that perspective, you don't know who you can trust or not, because you can't see, hear, feel, or sense anything, because you've disconnected from that side of your system. So sure enough, a narcissist comes along, and this is essentially what happened to avoidances. They got hurt really bad. What happened was they got turned against themselves. I made a very in-depth video, actually a couple of in-depth videos, on how one thing a narcissist is doing is they're trying to get you to overly judge yourself, and that's what causes what I call the narcissist sting in your solar plexus. They judged you constantly, and they did it in a way they mirrored you back to you, so every thought, every word, every value, every belief that you liked and enjoyed, even food that you enjoyed, became a self-inflicting judgment, like a scorpion sting in the solar plexus. So what they do is they sting you emotionally, which puts you into your left brain, which is the judgmental brain. See, that's the thing. Your logical brain judges everything. So when they can hurt you emotionally so bad that you close the door from your right brain, now you're like them. Now you're stinging yourself. And somebody could literally compliment you, and you're going to sting yourself thinking, oh, they're trying to hurt me, or oh, they're this. And this essentially is what avoidants are doing. They are stinging themselves. You could say something romantic. You could say something beautiful. You could tell them they're beautiful, and in their mind, like, oh yeah, they're just setting me up, or oh, they're just doing that because they think I'm not beautiful, and they're just trying to make me feel good about me. I mean, now I know as I'm talking right now, you're like, man, I've done that to myself too. Now, you have probably gone through it, especially if you're on this channel and been on this channel from when I started my narcissist abuse videos 5.5, 6 years ago, is you probably had that sting in your solar plexus. What it does is it constantly shuts the door to your emotions. Thus, you're locked into your left brain, which constantly stings you, which constantly keeps the door closed. Once a narcissist can set this loop, that's when they leave you. Now, here's the worst part. People that are open and loving when you're in that space, you can't relate to them. You're just like, I don't understand this. So you end up going around to other judgmental, harsh, mean, narcissistic type people, and you just think, well, this is just the way life is. And when you pop out of it, you're like, wait, that's not the way life is. That's a small fragment of society, maybe 7% or 10% of people. You start to realize there's a whole variance and a whole range of people that can be very, very loving and complimentary and just kind, good people. And that is the purpose of this channel, is to get you to pop out of that and begin to realize, wait, there's other people out there that aren't like this. The challenge is they don't seem familiar to you, so you can't relate, you just can't connect, it's not even that you don't understand why, you're just like, oh, hi, blah, blah, and you move on, and people are like, dude, like, why didn't you talk? That was like one of the nicest people in the world, like, oh, okay, whatever, and you go and talk to this toxic, mean person. It's because your system is like, well, this is what I can relate to because this is what I know. But just because you can relate to something, just because you know it from experience, doesn't mean it's good for you. One of the experiences I have, and I'm looking at this video right here, is when I first met this avoidant, all that light, all that beautiful energy that's outside of this human being right here was inside, and around it was this thick 3+ inch lead freaking metal thing, and there's this slight crack on the right side that went all the way down, and this light came out. It was a quick glimpse, okay? And I realized avoidants inside are very, very loving people who are just terrified of being loved because they think that love equals pain, because that's all they know. That's what they surround themselves by unconsciously, because, well, that's familiar. That's the way my family treated me. Thus, people who treat me the way my family treated me, well, that's family. But it's not. So when you can get an empath or an avoidant who's been self-inflicting, because you got to understand, this is an actual strategy that narcissists set up in you to self-inflict. So now they can move on to the next victim. Once you're self-stinging yourself and self-inflicting self-judgment on a critical level, well, they don't have to close you down anymore, because now your light is locked inside with this big, thick, thing around you, because you're the one holding the door closed. Now, I've heard this before years ago. Oh God, I used to hate it when people would say that. What do you mean? And they got you. It's not your fault though. They got you to self-inflict pain, and thus, even when someone compliments you or tries to make you laugh or says something funny, you're going to twist it unconsciously into a judgmental, because that's what you do. You overthink. Instead of just seeing it, hearing it for what it is, you add judgment. Oh, they must mean it in this negative way, and therefore you get hurt, and therefore you don't like that person. The funny part about it is the people that do openly attack you are the ones that you try to get to like you, like you're doing with your family. You're trying to get your family to love you, to be nice, to be respectful, to say kind things, and and they don't. So you work harder to get them to be nice to you, but that's who they are. This is what they are. This is what they do. So you surround yourself with friends and other kind of people who do the same thing, and you work hard to get them to love you. Because it's almost like what the pattern that was set in you by the narcissistic people or person was you reverse things. So people that are nice to you, you go, let me judge this, let me logically overthink this and turn this into something negative. Ow, that hurts. But then when people openly hurt you, talk behind your back, shame you, humiliate you, you take that and turn it into, oh, they didn't mean that. They were just having a bad day, or oh, they were trying to make me laugh, or oh, they were just being sarcastic. And now you take this negative stuff that is hurting you emotionally, and logically you what's the word I'm looking for? You justify it. You say, oh, they didn't mean that, they had a bad day. You make up excuses for it. Technically, the scientific word is you reframe it into something else, which is not what it is. So essentially, avoidance, I realize I'm not getting this across like I wanted to. The image I have in my mind is almost like this couple here, but it's like it's locked inside. It's not released. It's not open energy like this. So essentially, here's what's going on. They have so much pain inside that they lock it up. They put this thick. Here's the funny thing, though. They lock themselves inside with that pain. And they lock out or block out the very thing that they want, which is love. Now, one of the things that kind of blew me away, it was with all this massive pain and hurt, they still go to work and they function. Okay, I saw something today that I saw it, but not like this. The level of intensity of being completely closed up and yet putting on a fake smile, I cannot explain. It was like not even laser beam energy. It was like nuclear energy just in this thin line. And that's how they function in the world. And it was just such a like, wow. I realize I can't do that. In fact, not only can I not do that, I don't want to do that. I don't want to go through life closed up like that. Here's the thing, though. Neither do they. None of them do. Here's the, I don't know, weird, awkward, interesting thing to say is like they want to be like you. They want to be open. Now, here's the reason why they get so pissed off at you. Or why it's not even that they're pissed off at you, it's they bark at you, they attack you, they bite at you, because your openness opens them up. And I want to say this because this is what we see, hear, and feel from them, but it's not what it is. That's why they bark at you, that's why they attack you, that's why they're mean to you. It's not that they're mad at you, because that's what I was going to say, that's why they're mad at you. They're not mad at you. They're afraid of you. They're not afraid of you because you're going to hurt them. They're afraid of you because they're afraid that they're going to open up and feel all the pain. Human beings go into unconscious rapport with each other. Okay? We can't help it. So if you spend any period of time with someone, say more than 4 or 5 minutes or 3 minutes or more, your unconscious brain has a rapport gaining program that gains rapport with other people. This is how we get along. Animals have it, monkeys have it, dogs have it, cats, every animal species has this. We have to get along, we have to function together. Not only that, but when you have rapport with someone, you can understand them better. Without that, there's a real lack of communication. Now, if you've been with someone who's closed up, what's the number one problem? Lack of communication. There's confusion in communication. Now, here's the problem. If they gain rapport with you, they unconsciously, they don't realize it at first, they open up. Now here's the thing, they really like the feeling. It's like this image, it's this wonderful feeling because they don't feel this very often. Like not very many people in the world are open like this, and it just feels wonderful and loving and smooth, and the energy flows, and it's just, God, it feels so, and they feel this emotional sense of freedom. And they go right along with it. It's a feel like, wow, I haven't felt like this in years, or like I've never felt this feel like this is amazing. But then what happens is they're open and they're vulnerable, and then somebody might sting them, or they might go back in their thinking brain for a moment, ow, and they start to sting themselves, and they're like, ow, this hurts, ow, 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 and then boom, they close off, they ghost you. And if you're in a situation where you guys work together or you interact for some reason, I don't know, maybe you go to their work or whatever, they'll bite at you. They'll be closed. They'll be rude. And what they're trying to do is like, get away from me. I don't want to open up. Yet on the other hand, on the inside, they crave this feeling. They want to be open to that feeling again. Now the good news is, essentially they were wired in reverse, and it's like they deny any receiving any love or experiencing love, even their own love, and they're wired to experience pain, that everything becomes pain, so they numb themselves and they put up this thick lead wall all the way around them and above them, and they don't let anyone in, they don't let themselves in. They're disconnected from themselves. It's a horrible experience, but it can be fixed. It's just a rewiring thing. A very vague way of saying it is you essentially let in the good and keep out the bad. There is a way to do this. It's called being emotionally grounded. There's a little bit more in depth when it comes to the therapeutic side. Like you have to realize and have realizations like, oh, I see what I've been doing. That hurts me, etc., etc. But there's essentially a couple things you can do to really reverse this into a very positive experience. Keep out the bad, receive the good. So, believe it or not, they're not actually mad at you. They don't hate you. It is just a strategy that they're using to protect themselves. It may not be a good strategy. It may be a shitty strategy. It may be a hurtful strategy. So essentially, here's what's going on. It's not just avoidance. We've done it. Narcissists definitely do it. Is they have it in reverse. Is when someone comes okay, you know how I said, like a couple of minutes ago, it's like keep out the bad, let in the good. They that right there, that's what it is. They literally have that reversed. They let in the bad people who are toxic and who hurt them because, well, it's the way they were raised. It's what they know. I mean, if you're an empath, you've been through this. You used to make every excuse in the book for someone who's being mean to you, who shamed you publicly, who humiliated, lied to you, cheated on you. And oh, well, they're having a bad day. That's why they yelled at me. Oh, well, they didn't really mean it. I mean, I know because I used to do that. Avoidance, it's like they're on this extreme level of uno reverso against themselves. Is when someone kind comes along, that's when they pull out the swords and the shields and the spears, sharp point and sticking outwards. They refuse to let in anyone who is open and loving and kind, because their number one fear is, I'm not going to open up, so I'm not letting you into my world. Because if you're a nice, loving, open person, that means they're going to eventually open up, and then they're like, holy shit, I'm vulnerable. It's like they're in the middle of a war and their shields are down and now they can get attacked. That's the way they experience life. So what do? They let in the people who are bad, who are attacking them, and they keep out the good people who want to protect and love them. It's a very painful way of going through life. But a lot of people are like that now. It's because of computers. We have overpopulation, and we have 8 billion people. If you live in a highly populated area, the majority of people are going to be closed. One of the things that I guess the realization I had is not memories, but very recent experiences have popped up like, oh, they're keeping me at arm's length, not because they don't like me. It's because they don't want to open up. They're trying to stay closed. This is not a personal thing. It has nothing to do with you. Because when you leave, guess what? The very next person they come into contact with, they're going to do the same thing. Because these are the strategies that they've been using since they were young. This is what they know. This is what they know how to do. This is what they do. It has nothing to do with you at all. Imagine you could kind of step outside and watch from the outside. The very next person that walks in, they're going to go through the same system, the same process, the same strategies. It's nothing, I'm telling you, nothing changes. And then the next person, then the next person. And you'll notice all these people go through the same routine. They end up, it's fun at first, and then it feels great, and then it hurts, and then they get pushed away, and you're like, wait, what's going on? It's literally a pattern. You could watch the next 100 people like, holy shit, this is literally, like, yeah, it's their pattern. It's their strategy. It's what they do. And I don't mean this in a bad way at all. Because people are unconscious and they develop strategies at a very young age. The problem with is you don't have much experience in life, so you don't know what works and what doesn't. You just do whatever the hell comes to you and you hang on to it. Even into your 30s, 40s, and 50s, usually, hopefully. Like a lot of you guys remember making up excuses for when narcissists would humiliate you or attack you. They'd come home from work and they'd scream at you and you're like, what's going on? It has nothing, someone at work upset them, now they're taking it out on you. Oh, well, they just had a bad day. Oh, well, they probably didn't eat right. Oh, and you guys made up all the excuses. This was your strategy. This was your pattern. But a lot of you said, screw this, I'm not doing this anymore. So you had to do things that seemingly went against your own well-being, and you let go of these strategies. Like, I'm not doing this anymore. And it wasn't easy. You went through a phase of, man, I feel all alone now. I feel empty. I don't have friends, or well, the people you had before weren't actually friends. They were just mean to you. So one of the things I tell people is, like, once you see people's patterns and strategies, that's who they are. Unless they work with someone like me, an NLP trainer, because this is one of the techniques we do. We literally help people change their strategies and their programs and their patterns. Even then, when I work with some people, they're only going to change when they want to. A lot of people are like, I don't want to let go of this. This gives me many benefits. They're like, are you sure? Until they realize this isn't actually getting me what I want. And that's when they're willing to change their strategies. So as an example, because there's many other things that people do, an avoidant is allowing in the people that have their knives and spears out, poking them, and they keep out the loving people. It's a horrible strategy, but it's what they know. And here's the worst part: they believe it's the best thing they have. There's many other options that are much better. Most people are not aware at all that you can change strategies, that there are other strategies. They're just like, this is what I do, this is how I protect myself, and this is how I get through my life, no matter how horrible it is. They're like, because unless you take the trainings like I've taken, most people have no idea you can change stuff and you can improve your strategies and you can create a better world for yourself. Once you see someone's patterns and strategies, they repeat stuff. If you don't like it, get away. They are not gonna change. For most people, they only change when something huge happens, a car accident, or someone dies, a friend of theirs, or they lose someone they really cared about. Something horrendous has to happen for them to suffer such immense pain for them to say there's got to be a better way. A divorce can do this. One of the things that we learned during an NLP training, and it's something that at the time shocked me because I was such a devout, strong Christian, religious person, was Dr. Tad James. Someone had said, like, they were talking about how their spouse didn't change and that they had been through counseling and this and that and nothing worked. And Dr. Tad James said, I forget the question the person asked, and he goes, you might have to divorce them. They're like, but that goes against my religion, that goes against blah, blah. He goes, but that's maybe the very thing they need for them to finally realize that they need to start doing some internal work. Pain is a great teacher, and I'm not saying to go around and hurt people, but a lot of times that's what it takes for people to stop and ponder and go, okay, wait, I don't want to experience this anymore. So this experience that I had just today, this realization, it helped me to understand a bunch of different situations that I had or have or had in my life for the last few months or year or so. And suddenly all the pain's gone. It's like this is just who they are and where they're at. There's no judgment in that. It's just like it doesn't work for me. If you need help with any of these issues, clearing past issues, healing from emotional wounds from the past, get a hold of me. I'm a certified NLP trainer, certified master Ericksonian hypnotherapist, certified master practitioner in timeline therapy, HNLP, certified in Reiki Huna and pranic healing, and a few other things. With 30 years experience specializing in emotional healing and narcissistic abuse healing. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next video. If you want to donate to this channel, there's a PayPal link right there in the description box. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.